Welcome to a grand journey in the Star Wars: The Old Republic universe. Today I'm going to be guiding you through making the choice of what class story you want to play. The purpose of this video is not to tell you which class story is the best one that you should play. The purpose is to showcase the unique aspects of the different class stories so you can make the choice that is the best for you and what you like. There are some key elements of each class so you can decide which story is the best one for you to play, and there will be follow-up videos that will allow you to explore the classes in a little bit more detail once you figured out which ones seem the most likely candidates for you to pick next. Starting with 7.0, which releases February 15th, combat styles will be separated from the class story. This means that you no longer have to think about, do I want to play a class with stealth, or etc. You can choose when a Force user story to play any of the Force users available to you in the game. And then when you play a non-Force user, again, you can pick from all the non-Force users available. So this allows you to pick the type of weapons you want to have, the type of abilities you're going to have, whether or not you have stealth, whether or not you can heal or tank or do damage, with a lot more flexibility. And the class stories now, you get to just decide what is the story I want to enjoy, what is the voice acting that I feel will best suit the playstyle that I want to enjoy in Star Wars: The Old Republic. So let's get going and let's start looking at the first thing that you want to think about. Are you going to support the Galactic Republic or the Sith Empire? Wait, hold up, before we get there. You do not want to make this choice right away because each story is going to play out differently and we want to look at what each story has to offer. But I will say on this topic that there are a few differences that you're going to consistently notice about playing the Galactic Republic versus the Empire. The Empire obviously is playing from their point of view. So if you want to know more about the Galactic Empire and the Sith Republic and the differences there, well, it's kind of a bit hard to explain without looking at each of the storylines. But generally, a lot of people really enjoy the fact that when you play on the side of the Empire, you get to see the story from a different point of view that we're not used to seeing in the Star Wars universe. You do play as the Empire, trying to win the war as the Empire. You get to make choices in a very different idea. Generally, they ask you to side with dark side choices that seem more fitting to being the bad guys, but you're not restricted to that. In this game, you get to choose if you want to pick the light side or the dark side choices, and the game will reward you with slightly different cutscenes and dialogue as you go through the story in this result. At some point, you're probably going to play them all anyways because it's so great. So don't worry too much yet about the Imperial versus the Republic side, but if you really are itching to kind of see things from that other side on the Imperial, go ahead and take a look at diving into one of these 4 classes that the Imperials have before you look at diving into the ones that the Republic side have. Starting off with the Republic Jedi Knight. If you want to be the Jedi hero from the movies, now you can. And you can also choose to be a little bit evil while doing it. The Golden Prodigy who saves the galaxy and is just in general the best Jedi ever. Play a little cocky if you want. Modesty is not always a strong point of the most powerful Jedi in the galaxy. A little cliche at times, but I definitely enjoyed this story. The female voice acting tends to be a bit cocky and a little bit more emotional for a Jedi. Companions for this class are pretty lit with your own little droid, a funny Padawan who's somewhat possessed. You're either going to love or hate Doc, and you get a hardcore trooper to soften up a little bit. The male voice acting tends to be a bit calmer and a little bit on the boring side, a lot more like you might expect from a trained Jedi, and he's very to the point. The subscriber races that you get in addition by playing this class are the Mirlukan, the Mirlan, and the Twi'lek. Flipping over to the Empire side, we are now looking at this Sith warrior. With great power comes great resentment over your success as you have to quickly learn on your feet how to navigate the world of the Sith. You get to lip off your master because of your immense power, or quietly learn from him as you prepare your own rise to power. Become the most powerful Sith and be the Emperor's personal blade. Learn about treachery and plotting of the Sith, but mostly just go ham with the lightsaber killing stuff. Will you adhere to the Sith code, or forge your own path? The female voice acting, I felt it was a little bit out of place. It's a bit no-nonsense, I don't care what you say kind of attitude. Companions make this a very strong story, even giving you the chance to turn a companion to the dark side. Ooh. Witty and fun is your first little thief, followed by some very capable crew to keep your fights aimed at victory. Male voice acting tends to be very confident, passionate, a bit more Sith-like I would think, and can definitely joke around. The subscriber perk race is the Sith Pureblood, which is what the story was originally intended to be played as. Continuing for the Empire, we have the Sith Inquisitor, sassy and shocking. Your rise to power from a mere slave puts you in the depth of what it means to become a Sith Lord and rise to power. Always emboldened and learning new things, you learn a lot more of the depth of intelligence that the Dark Lord gathers to concentrate their base of power. The female voice acting is sassy and confident, fun, not necessarily a slave voice. Companions are quirky and interesting, with you getting to learn a lot of depth in different alien races, and even with a Jedi. A great crew with lots of good dialogue. The male voice acting is a bit dry, kind of dismissive, and annoyed at people. The subscriber perk races include the Sith Pureblood, Twi'lek, and Ratataki, and with this class being designed to be played as a slave, the Sith Pureblood feels a little bit out of place, but definitely works when you get into later parts of the story. Republic Jedi Consular. If you want to be the healer and the negotiator, you embody the true spirit of what it means to be a Jedi, helping people and understanding of other species. It starts off controversial for people who don't like the idea of being a selfless healer, but soon you become a very critical negotiator and diplomat in the galaxy, convincing other worlds of the benefit of the Republic while trying to find the traitor in your midst. The female voice acting is reserved, calm, and questioning. I think it fits. Companions for this class are very interesting with a lot of split views on how great they are. You get given a lot of lore for the alien species of Trandoshans, and a quirky scientist who's a bit arrogant and infatuated with his personal holo AI. A couple of other loyal companions follow you to flesh out your group. The male voice acting tends to be overly emotional for a consular, and comes off like he's a little bit bored. The special subscriber races that you unlock for this class are the Miralukan, the Mirlan, and the Twi'lek. The Republic Trooper. Part of the Republic's elite suicide squad, everything goes wrong on your first mission. Travel the galaxy doing questionable deeds as part of this elite squad of soldiers. There are lots of perks along the way if you choose to take advantage of your special privileges. A lot of discretion is given for your personal actions, as long as the job gets done. Be the Republic's hero, either completely honest and upstart, or a little shady too. The female voice acting is sassy, confident. I feel it fits this role quite well. Companions for this class give you everything from a well-trained soldier who knows the rules well to a boastful happy droid, and a couple of interesting additions for their special skills in the fields. The companions aren't as universally loved, but they do get fairly well received. Male voice acting tends to be very fitting for this class role as well, very optimistic sounding. The special subscriber race for this class is the Mirlan. For the Empire, be the Imperial agent. You are the spy. This story plays out like a mystery novel with thrilling plot twists and espionage around multiple corners. Sleaze your way across the galaxy, manipulating and killing whoever it takes to get the job done. Seduction or smarts, power or stealth. You get to choose how to survive in this chaotic world of being a spy, getting betrayed around the galaxy, and having to fight your own way out. Female voice acting is calm and collected, polite. A few unique all-female lines come along with this choice. Companions can be a little hit or miss, but they do make for quite the interesting crew of a galactic spy working for Imperial intelligence. There are lots of interesting quirks to discover along the way. Male voice acting is very expectant, smart, commanding, kind of a dry humor. The subscriber special races include the Chiss and the Ratataki, with the story originally being designed with the idea of you being an alien species from outside of the Empire, which gives a few extra interesting dialogue options if you choose one of these races. Imperial Bounty Hunter. Become a Mando, but not quite. You are out to get rich and making money is the best thing. I don't know why so many people have to run, but does it really matter when your aim is this good? Aided by a brilliant Mako, there isn't much she can't solve when your gun isn't enough. Seriously funny, with lots of great one-liners and quips that can be a pretty good laugh as you blast your way around the galaxy chasing targets. Female voice acting is a bit average. I don't feel it really fits this role. Companions are quite a good lot with this character, giving you a decent variety and some interesting interactions. Would have liked to have had even more time and interactions with the companions, as I just really enjoyed it that much. The male voice acting is a bit rough around the edges, a little bit serious too. Special subscriber race includes the Chiss and the Ratataki. The Republic Smuggler. Using your luck and charisma, stumble your way across the galaxy finding credits as you seek down revenge for being conned and being stuck in the sights of a very powerful crime lord. This may or may not be like stumbling into a movie, Han Solo. Getting ridiculously rich and revenge is the name of the game. This fun story gives a lot of jokes and a fair bit of sleeping around the galaxy as your band of misfits builds quite the criminal enterprise. The female voice acting is very fun, poking fun at everybody, just generally witty, having a great time. Companions for this class are quite the odd group, getting your own Wookiee, a Mandalorian, a pirate princess, and a naive young man trying to play the gentleman, but it's never a dull moment. The male voice acting? I'm a simple man with simple needs. Credits. It's kind of like going to watch Solo, a Star Wars story. The subscriber races that you unlock for this class are the Mirlan and the Twilight. Alright, so there we go. That is the completion of the quick summary of the different 8 class stories that are available to you. Now that you've had a chance to get a general idea of a few that piqued your interest, I do have an accompanying video which goes into a little bit more detail on the different class stories, and you can go into that video, look for the appropriate chapter for the class stories that interest you the most to find out a little bit more about how those class stories play, the dynamics of them, and especially quite a bit about how the companions play into the story, as they can make quite an influence on your enjoyment. Do make sure that you're thinking about the role-playing aspect of picking a class story, as I find that really does help have a better, more enjoyable experience. So, as always, have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.